All right, here we are live from downtown Toronto. It's me, Hugh, and we've got Evelyn Chau joining us here again from, powerfulpresence.ca is the website, right, Evelyn?
Yes, that's my business.
And you're a communications strategist.
Yes.
So I guess that's what we're going to be talking about, at least in part today, right?
Yes,
and
we are.
Now we've got some slides. Do you want to just introduce this for us, the whole talk that we're doing today? We're going to go through these slides, but do you want to maybe set it up a little bit for us?
Sure. I want to talk about words that make you sound authoritative, because I know for a fact that sometimes young people, when they're fresh out of school, or people who were brought up in a culture where they're not given positive reinforcements, sometimes they talk in a very tentative way. They might be very educated, but sometimes they tend to use words that I call weasel words.
Weasel words.
Yeah. So it weakens the message. So today we're going to start with the strong words.
Yeah.
And then at the next Liquid Lunch show, we're going to talk about the words that would make them look weak.
Okay,
and
great.
the words
Good.
to be avoided.
Good.
Yes.
So we're not going to get to those weasel words today.
No, suspense.
Today we're doing the strong words.
Yes.
You have to wait till next time to find out what you're doing wrong.
That's right.
Okay, great. So now, are we going to just chat as we go through the slides? Is that what
Sure,
we're going to
yeah.
do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So next slide, please, Chris. So I just want to set the tone when we want to talk about work. So this is sort of like the work atmosphere. Although, did you know that 47% of the Canadian workforce work remotely? This is
That much?
2017 stat. It shocked me. Maybe not full time. Maybe 2 days of the week they're working from home, and they count everybody.
Okay.
Yep. So
Well, that's okay news. I think that's good.
yes. Next slide, please. So this is about power within our reach. Next, please. And I just want to say that there are 3 ways. Research shows that there are 3 ways to be authoritative in language. And the first one is to drop the weak language. Next slide, please.
And next time we're going to find out what the weak language is.
Yes. But, we'll talk a little bit about what not to do as well.
Okay, good.
And so we're about using powerful words that are firm and solid and direct. And that gives you this sense of power when you speak.
The authoritative language.
Authoritative language. Thank you. And the third way is to involve the senses, which may be a little surprising, but research shows that when you use a lot of numbers and figures and data, it goes to the left brain of the audience.
Right.
And if you use image-rich language, it goes to the right side, which is the right side of the brain to engage people.
Right. That's why they say tell a story.
Yes.
Or, tell a joke to start a speech.
Right.
Just to kind of do that, right?
Yeah, it works wonders. Now there are people who will say, I don't have any stories to tell, but most people have stories to tell. But really, if you use image-rich language, it's just as good as stories.
It's almost like you got to think, you bring the poet out in you.
Bring the
right?
poet out, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Instead of the dry facts, you bring the poet out. And people get engaged, and you might even notice they sit up higher, and they're more inclined to take up your message, to take action on your message. So here are some suggestions and some samples of what I mean. While at a meeting or projecting into the future, you're talking about the future and you don't have a firm plan, this is a very good and general way of saying, I'm confident this is a promising way forward. Instead of saying, let's see, or, and using a lot of, hedgy words.
Right. I'm confident this is a promising way forward. Right? You say that to your boss when you're presenting your proposal at that meeting.
Yes, and it's very direct, and there's no hemming and hawing or making, like ifs and ands and buts and start, talking around it. And this is another one, according to my analysis, because people like tangible facts.
Do you mind if I repeat these phrases just to practice as we're going along here?
I don't.
According to my analysis.
You're having fun with this.
I am having fun with
You're
this.
having so much fun. Okay, make sure it's your analysis.
My analysis.
Not your assistant's analysis.
No. This is based on facts.
Nothing but facts. You're terrible. And where there's uncertainty. Next slide, please.
Wait, what does that mean, though?
Well, I'm just kind of prefacing this.
Oh, I see.
At this point.
In other words, if there's some uncertainty in the meeting,
yes,
you want to use a phrase like the one we're just about to talk about.
That's right. So you didn't miss out on saying that phrase, but you can say this phrase.
Okay, good. So there's some uncertainty in the room about the plan,
Yeah.
and I'm going to say, at this point, we think this is the best way forward. However, there are other options to consider.
Right. That means that you're a very fair and democratic kind of guy.
Right.
Okay. Instead of saying, I'm no expert on this, a lot of people preface their
Right.
phrase by saying, I'm not sure about this, but.
Right. Are those
So,
weasel words? Is that what you call weasel
yes,
words?
those would be weasel words.
Right. So
because-
you're already undermining your own argument
right on.
by letting people know that you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the subtext is don't listen to what I'm saying.
Right.
Right? People would tune out. So when
Yeah.
you make it strong,
Here's how I see
that's
it.
how I see it. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's just my opinion. Not
Well,
just my opinion. It's my opinion.
It's my
You
opinion
can have
based on
yours.
my analysis.
Cool. Okay. So here are some handy ones that you can kind of put in your back pocket, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I'd like to point out this important aspect. You say it.
I'd like to point out this important aspect.
You say it so much better.
Well, because I've got analysis to back it up, Evelyn.
Yes. You got the power.
So this is good because you can inject this phrase at any point in the conversation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can say this at any point. Maybe it's going off in a direction that you think is not the best for everyone involved, and you can say, I'd like to point this important aspect. So you're saying, this is important.
Yeah, actually, this is really relevant because a lot of people say to me that sometimes the more vocal people in their team would take up a lot of time and space, and they have something valuable to say, but they don't know how to inject themselves into it.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be handy. And I propose.
I propose. You're not saying, you're not saying, hey, wait a minute, guys, wait a sec, what about this? No,
Yeah.
you're saying, I propose.
Absolutely right.
Well,
And say
I
this.
urge you to.
See how strong it sounds?
It's very strong.
Yeah, I urge you to.
Yeah, urge is a
Yeah.
strong word, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, you sound like you mean business.
The facts on this are, here's the facts. If you're ignoring the facts, then you could be getting yourself into trouble.
That's right.
I like this one.
You like that one
My
too?
recommendation is,
Take it or leave it.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
I love it.
suffer the consequences.
Yeah. And
Let's look
Finally.
at the numbers. I
Yes.
love that one.
people trust numbers. As long as they're well researched and relevant, they like to have the solidness of numbers.
Measurability, right?
Measurability. Yep. So I just wanted to say that a lot of these expressions invite your audience to check out the facts and things like that. But then there's an equally powerful way to engage them, which is what we just discussed, using stories and images and words that involve the five senses: taste, touch, smell, hearing, right?
That's another one.
That's another one, yes.
Eyesight. visual,
Sight. Yes.
auditory,
Yes.
olfactory.
Olfactory. You flatten your nose.
Did I?
Yeah. Okay.
This way?
Right. Yes. It brings people's attention back if they're wandering, if their minds are wandering, thinking, what am I going to have for lunch? You bring them back with a relevant story, a personal anecdote, and you're actually creating a fertile ground for them to receive your message.
Mm-hmm.
So there are little pockets that you can create leading to your final point.
Right. Now it's I mean, and these are really critical skills when it comes to, I would say, the business world, or really for anyone who's really trying to do something, whatever it is,
Yeah.
whether they're an artist or whether they're, cultural entrepreneur or just a business person.
Right.
To be able to communicate effectively, to be able to get your message across, whatever it is. It's, these are, some people do these things naturally, right? And other people,
Some people do.
have to work at it.
Yeah.
And I think for people who, and I think the people who are watching this probably in many cases know which side of that equation they're on, right?
Yeah. Plus, they may know a few people that, or who might need a bit of a boost in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's more. There's more to it. I mean, I know you're gonna be coming back, and we're gonna be having a series of these conversations about different aspects of the whole
About this.
powerful presence and communications. And this is only one aspect of it, right?
This is
There's a
only one
lot of other
aspect.
aspects
Yeah.
to effective, powerful communications.
That's right. And eye contact is one of them. Body language.
Now I'm thinking of that song. You know that song, Body Language?
Oh, remind me.
Oh, it's by Queen.
Okay.
Don't you know that? Body language. Body language.
Does it actually give a tip or two about body language, or are they just repeating body language?
I'll have to go. We'll listen after the interview. We'll go listen to it. Okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's body language and eye contact, and there's other things. There's the way you use your voice too, because
That's
some people
right.
are quiet, and they're afraid to speak up.
Right?
And I'm almost thinking that you use some of these phrases we talked about here today, but if you're still quiet, you're not speaking up, it's going to be difficult to. And some people are probably looking at that and going, I don't feel confident enough to even say that, right? So it's really a question of, I guess, training the brain a little bit, training the.
Yeah. The mind, the mindset, right?
Yeah.
Some people say you could record yourself. Record yourself reading a passage, or record yourself on the phone and go from easy to hard. For example, if you're just talking to your mom, record it. And then if you're talking to a friend and you have a thorny issue to bring up, then record it. That sort of thing. Yeah, I think that most people aren't comfortable with hearing their own voice. I know that I am. But it just takes a few times and you're totally used to it.
So now this is what you help people with, right? At Powerful Presence?
Yes.
Now, and so what should we, now you gave me this worksheet, right? Are we telling people about this worksheet?
Yeah, let's tell people about the worksheet.
So, yeah, first of all, tell me about it. Because,
I just felt that words just fly by, right?
Yeah.
If the listener is interested in taking a few notes or something like that, they may or may not be able to catch it. But this is even deeper. It helps people think about their own issues and what actions they're going to take to overcome it. Let's say they have a big presentation coming up in a few months. What are they going to do to make sure that they're in tip-top shape and present in a powerful and confident way.
So this is maybe a first step, I'm thinking, maybe, for people out there that really want to get their communications, their presence powerful, that this might be a great starting point. Because they
Yes.
can go through here, it's almost like a checklist. Where am I having issues?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Or even a reminder if they're already halfway there. They could say, oh, I didn't think about that. So they could actually add a tool onto their arsenal.
Or maybe they think they're already there 100%, but they won't find out unless they get this worksheet if maybe they're missing a thing or two.
Maybe.
And they can improve even more than, they think they're perfect, but maybe they're not.
That's possible.
Now, what are we going to do? What did you want to say about this? Is this something where how do you want to?
We can read it out loud. We talk
Right
about,
now?
yes, there are 8 items.
Are we
or
doing this
questions.
today?
Do we have time?
Yeah, we do. Did you want to do it today, or did you want to do it
I do
next
want
time?
to do it today.
Okay, good. All right, let's do it.
Okay.
So should we go through them one by one?
Sure.
All right. Okay, here we go. Number 1. Okay, Tesla's over there. Yeah, she. So, what are the limiting thoughts you are having about being a great speaker? How long have you been having these thoughts?
So do you have any limiting thoughts? I'll put money on no.
About being a speaker. This is like somebody who's getting in front of an audience. And
Yeah, big or small. It could be a pitch.
can I tell you a story?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so a couple times. Okay, yeah. So here on the show, it's pretty easy to kind of just. And sometimes here we have events, and I get up and I just do a little brief intro, and I don't think about it too much,
No.
right? Mm-hmm. But I'm in a comfortable environment.
Yeah.
This is like home for me, right?
Of course.
But so one time, and I've tried to do stand-up comedy a couple times.
That's impressive.
Well, probably not if you saw the act, but because I got up and I didn't prepare anything. I thought, because sometimes you can, like here on the show, we can just make stuff up, or you just get,
Yeah.
but there's no pressure.
Yeah.
Like there's no pressure, so it's easy without pressure to go up and just do something that's okay. Anyways, I did the stand-up comedy, it didn't work out. I was doing it with someone, and they were different than they were not in front of the mic. So the pressure got to them.
Uh-huh.
That's the thing, that pressure can get to you. And I had to MC an event with others, with stand-up comics, like really good professional stand-up comics. And I got called in as a last-minute MC, and I thought, oh, it should be no problem. I'll just get up there and do what I do here. But what happened was, like, the pressure got to me. Like, all of a sudden, I was just about to go up there, and the pressure just killed me. Right? So that's one thing that's definitely one thing. And I know some other people that are super funny people, and they're professional comics by training. Like,
Yeah.
they actually that was their career path. And they're so funny at a party, but they go up, if they get in front of a crowd, the pressure, all of a sudden, all their spontaneity kind of evaporates.
Yeah.
Right? So that's, I would say, pressure.
Would the pressure come from the fact that there's a vast crowd out there, or because of the caliber of the people who are sharing the stage with you?
In this particular instance, it was a bit of both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's very impressive that you actually did that.
Yeah, well, it was the worst night of my life.
I think being a stand-up comic has to be one of the toughest jobs in the world. Maybe next to a figure skater, because once these guys fall on the ice, they have to pick themselves up so fast and as if nothing's happened,
Yeah.
right? And they have to be elegant about it and keep the beat.
But what are the chances of everyone having closed their eyes at that moment?
I've never thought
Pretty
of that.
low.
Maybe they were yawning or coughing.
Oops, we didn't see that. Yeah. No, don't. Yeah. Well, I'm a long way from being a professional skating person. Okay, so we're going through these quickly, right, Evelyn?
Yeah.
Okay. What are the feelings you have about being in front of a group?
So when the person asks themselves that, they might write down something quantifiable, and then if they want to take action on it, then they have all these items, all these boxes to check.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's a beginning. Then you have to figure out how to address all those things, right?
Right.
What are the actions you're taking about the situation? Well, that's what we're just saying.
Yeah.
Right?
So they might decide to do some deep breathing before going on stage, because breath really anchors a person, right? And it supports their...
We were just talking about that with our previous guest, too,
Yeah.
about the importance of breathing. The other technique, of course, is to imagine everyone out in the audience sitting there in their underwear.
Right.
Did you hear about that one?
I have. But there's so many choices we have, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It doesn't really work. Well, it might. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very positive, where would you rate your attitude towards a situation today?
So let's say a person is sort of comfortable going in front of a group, but they could actually up their comfort level so it becomes actually an enjoyable occasion, because life's too short, right? You don't want to be gritting your teeth and shaking your boots.
Right.
If that is part of your job, if that's, you have to go into meetings and present,
You want to be having fun.
you have, yes.
Of course. That's. We can shift our mindset for the better. What actions could you take so you can have a more productive experience? See, and this is something you're going to help people with, right? All these things.
I
Getting
would
them.
love to, yeah, because there's so many things you can do, and my goal is to help people have more fun when they're in front of a group.
Right.
Yes.
And it can be a
So
lot of fun
It could be a lot of fun.
because you could be there helping everyone have fun.
Yeah, one day I was browsing at a bookstore and I saw a book written by the Rich Dad Poor Dad guy, Kiyosaki.
Oh yeah.
Is that how you say it? Yeah, guy. And I opened up to a page, and it had, the right things that I was like looking for. I actually wasn't looking for it, but it sort of, those are tips that I could use. And he said, go to a venue early and own the place. Walk around the empty room and just get used to it. Maybe stand in front of the podium and make gestures and pretend you're talking. And also, when people start to come in, you make friends with them so that you have a few friendly faces smiling at you.
Right.
And then you would make eye contact with these people and then have this positive feeling, which would multiply when more and more people are looking at you.
See, that's gold right there.
Thank you.
Yeah. What beliefs can you remove from your mind that would help shift your mindset to a more positive state? Yeah. What new input can you add to create the ideal picture of your situation?
Yeah, so I believe that when you want to change a situation, you take away the bad and then you put in the good. So the bad in this case is a mindset that says, I'm not good enough, or I hate my voice, or I hate the way I look, whatever, right? All these could kind of add to or subtract from the experience you're going to have when you're actually doing your presentation. So these things can be worked at beforehand, the changing of the mindset. There are meditations you can do, there are books you can read, tips, and you talk to a good friend and ask for feedback, and the friend will say, I actually love your voice. That sort of thing, right? Yeah, and once the negative mindset is out of the way, then you put in something good. And I do that by visualizing. Did I tell you that when I first started coaching was working with athletes?
No. Well, no.
I was. And they all have a lot of worries. The main worry is that they don't win, right? They will go home with a silver, which is not winning to them.
Right. I know.
Everybody wants the gold, but even though you put out 100%, not everybody can go home with the gold.
Yeah.
So they have to work ahead of time to alleviate the jitters and the anxieties. Yeah, so visualizing is very helpful. So they close their eyes and, center themselves and actually see the ball going into the net or, the routine going well.
Yeah, they proved that with a different psychocybernetics. Do you know about that?
I have heard of it, but I'm sure there are overlaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what you're talking about there.
Okay.
Taking a moment to imagine the situation differently, imagining using your 5 senses while breathing deeply. There we go with the 5 senses again, right?
Here we go. Yes.
And how important is this new scenario to your success? What is that? What do you mean scenario there? Like
being able to visualize everything going well with your presentation or your negotiation.
Yeah.
Just kind of put that piece of a puzzle into the whole picture.
Okay. Finally, describe the thoughts and feelings you experienced when you were visioning. Can you transfer these thoughts and feelings to other areas of life? So this is an excellent starting point for people who are really wanting to magnify their presence in all sorts of situations, right? Business. Really, it could even apply in social situations, right?
It could.
And what else did you want to bring to us today, Evelyn? What else? Was there anything else you wanted to let people know about?
I just want to let people know that nothing is written in stone. So if you're struggling with an issue, everything can be changed, because our mindset is what we created in the first place, and
Yeah.
you have the power to reset it or recreate it.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, the website is Powerful Presence. Is it .com or .ca? .ca. And you're going to be back, and we're going to be doing these on a regular basis
I'm going to be back next month.
and bringing new insights for people who want to improve their presence.
Yes, I hope so.
And now, in the meantime, what are you recommending? That people get their hands on the worksheet here?
People do they write into thatchannel.com?
Well, they could, or they could contact you directly.
They could.
I
They
suppose.
could email me
Yeah.
at powerfulpresence at bell.net.
Okay. Powerfulpresence@bell.net.
Bell.net.
And do you know what our topic next month is going to be?
We're going to talk about those weasel words that we want to kick to the curb.
Yeah. But I liked it today. I like practicing those powerful phrases today.
Oh, you're so sweet.
well,
you
I
don't
mean,
need them.
Well, no, but it's good. I mean, it actually feels powerful to be using those words, those
Seriously.
powerful phrases. So thanks for
Wonderful.
for bringing those here.
It's great talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
Take care.
Okay. So there's Evelyn Chau, and we're going to take a little break. Meanwhile, check out her website, powerfulpresence.ca, and we're gonna have another guest now via Skype. We have Carolyn Tingling coming, and I don't know if you want, Evelyn, you can maybe stick around and participate.
What's she talking about?
I don't know. I should know,
Interesting.
but I don't. But we'll find out. So
Okay.
no pressure.
Okay.
But we'll be back after this in a couple of minutes. Thatchannel.com.